Hello, and welcome to the StampQuest live draw. Can people hear me? It's the first thing to check because I'm not going to go into the full thing again if I can't be heard. For now, I'm going to proceed on the assumption that I can be heard.
Hey, we
I'm being
got the
told that
green
people
light.
can hear me. Great. So I am Michael Duxbury. I am the former director of the UK Tabletop Industry Network, or TIN, one of the three groups that was collaborating on StampQuest this year at UK Games Expo 2024. I'm here today with my fellow collaborators and also with Ryan, who's going to be our host for today. Ryan is going to be my successor in the Tabletop Industry Network. I'm moving on to pastures new. I'm handing the reins over to Ryan. And we're going to be talking today about what StampQuest was, what we learned from it, and most excitingly of all, doing the prize draw so that folks who did successfully hand in their completed StampQuest leaflets can find out if they've won and what they've won. So over to you, Ryan.
Yeah, for sure. As Michael mentioned, I'm taking over the reins of Tin. I have the time, which is, hey, who knew, an important thing when running a company. But I wasn't particularly involved in StampQuest. I came to it quite late in the game. The epic trailer was all me. Well, mostly me. I got graphical assets from, hey, Harry of the Leith Illustration and Josh of Hive Mind Games. Sorry, that was a segue. And a half. But yeah, what actually was StampQuest 24? For people who may not know, I'm watching this on YouTube after the fact.
Fantastic. Yeah, so StampQuest was a stamp scavenger hunt arranged for the UKGE, the UK Games Expo this year. We had 28 fantastic indie creators, including three of ourselves, three parties in here. All participants had to do was grab a leaflet off of one of our stands, collect a stamp from every indie creator featured, and hand it in for their shot at a 1,200 quid prize draw, which was entirely made up of donated prizes from all of the participants.
Yeah, it was really, everyone was so generous. It was really nice.
I spent about 2 hours today going through all of the prizes because there are legitimately that many. We've got 200 items in the prize pool. I mean, including stickers. There's 20 odd hardbacks up for grabs, split between the three winners. Genuinely impressive stuff
It was
for
amazing.
for a bunch of indies.
It was fun whilst we were still kind of gathering people together in the design stages of it, was having to change the number on the front of the leaflet every so often as the donations went up, just to kind of get the full impact. So we ended up with, yeah, over £1,000 worth of donated games, which is amazing.
Yeah,
Um,
I guess a quick diversion into the actual numbers. We handed out about 3,500 leaflets, which were to people who were interested in playing. So
it's all
all of those
prosperity.
played. Heck yeah. And we ended up with 300 completed entries. So there's a lot of people vying for this prize pool.
Yeah, and a really unexpected part of it was the amount of people who came up to us on the stand, who were all like neurodivergent, and experiencing some form of social-based anxiety or overwhelm from being in such a big space with, what was it, like 38,000 people or something overall. Um, and yeah, the amount of people who said they were feeling overwhelmed until they were handed this leaflet and suddenly they had like a task that they could
Mm.
do that helped them make sense of it all. And as someone who is also very socially awkward, I got to do a teeny tiny bit of Stamp Quest myself. I felt like I needed to do a bit just to get the experience, having dished it out to everyone else. And yeah, as someone who is also often gets overloaded with just the sheer volume of stalls and the amount of people. It was really fun just kind of going around with a little leaflet and collecting people's stamps, and a really nice way of getting to chat with so many indie creators who I probably wouldn't have had the guts to have started a conversation with before. So that was really nice.
It was really nice, and I think part of why so many people were drawn to it and to be a part of Stamp Quest is the design of the leaflet itself. I thought was absolutely gorgeous. Harry came up with the original idea of doing Stamp Quest as a way to help us reach out to other smaller creators in the hall and to give that kind of direction to folks who were doing it, as well as doing the design of the leaflet itself. Josh did an incredible job of finding so many of the folks who ended up being part of the Stamp Quest campaign and doing loads and loads of administration behind the scenes, both before the con and after the con, and during the con throughout. Keeping all the gears turning so that the nuts and bolts of what needed to be done to make sure that we got all of these games together and we had everything we need to make sure we were making it as good an experience for the people who were embarking on Stamp Quest. So very much a collaborative effort, bringing in parts of Harry's design and the original concept and Josh's vision and management behind the scenes as well.
What can I say? Spreadsheets are my passion. That is, of course, to say, Tin, you lent us the platform, organized it on Discord in some hidden participant-only channels. And of course, did Eleanor in particular from Tin did an absolute shed load of social media work for it, particularly on the weekend itself. Just insane.
Yeah, massive
volumes.
thanks to Eleanor. That was amazing what she did. Yeah.
So, yeah, should we talk about the prize pool?
Yeah, I heard that it was extremely large. One could describe it as a hoard.
Yeah, I thought it was, sort of advertising big it up hyperbole when I said a dragon's hoard of loot. But yeah, it's an insane amount of stuff. So there are going to be 3 winners. We've got I mean, yeah, each person's going to be walking away with a handful of hardbacks at absolute minimum. So just the things that each person will get in addition to the rest. Hive Mind, myself, we've put in for each winner a copy of the Brother Wire boxed card game, a T-shirt, a tote bag, a sheet of A5 temporary tats, a couple of holographic stickers, a little bundle of round ones, a bookmark, and 2 prints. On top of that, Blackwell Games have included a copy of Apothecaria for each winner. Ecstasis have put in a copy of These Wretched Tales for each winner. 3 Sales have put in a pre-order of their Mappamundi RPG coming out in summer for the winner, and then 2 digital pre-orders for the runners-up. Montford Tales has included a random print pack for each winner, and Rowan Rook and Deckard have included an Eat the Reich patch pack each and a fidget coin, which are absolutely beautiful and were handed to me, and I immediately brought a set for myself. So I got.
That is how they get you. But that's like not all to one person, though, right?
That is for each of the winners. In addition to other prizes like scenes, each winner is going to be getting 2 sort of full hardback RPGs on top of the bits I just mentioned. Those are the things that we have in triplicate, 1 for each winner.
Amazing.
Gonna enjoy your floor space once you've cleared all that stuff.
I'm excited to get my living room back.
So I guess we'll start with Michael. Why not? Michael started the show stream, whatever. How did UKG go from like a tin point of view?
So UK Games Expo was fantastic. I've been going for a few years. Tin has been going for 2. This was our second year, but this year for us was completely unlike our first year. For our first year, we were on one of those budget beginner tables that they offered to first-time exhibitors. This time, we're exhibiting on a totally different scale with 2 amazing other collaborators who had the vision for and then constructed this beautiful stall in which we were going to be selling our games. Tin is a bit unlike some of the other folks in the hall, including, I suspect, Leith and Hive Mind Games, in that obviously we've got an amazing set of games that we want to get out and in front of an audience, and that we're excited for people to pick up and then play. But Tin as well is a network of creators. So a big part of events like UK Games Expo for us is reaching out to other creators who might get something from the network and making that connection there. And I think StampQuest was a big part of that for us. It was making new friends with creators in the hall who I hope benefited from the extra level of exposure that we were able to provide in our social networks in advance, maybe benefited from a little bit more traffic, a little more custom during the convention itself. We certainly got some feedback from folks who are really excited to say that because of StampQuest, they found some of those smaller stalls that they might have otherwise missed, which is lovely. That's exactly what Tin is about, making sure that we're providing that support to smaller creators. And of course, getting our games in front of a general gaming audience and selling some of those zines and other products as well. So that was fantastic. UK Games Expo is always very kind to us. I'm really excited about the prize pool that we've got to give away today. There's a lot of items in there that there was a moment of jealousy of, ooh, I want that for myself, rather than wanting to give that away. There's 3 games in there that I think I've played. I played the original Cold City RPG back when it was a Cubicle 7 Contested Ground collaboration, I think. Handiwork Games were doing like a preview of the new version with Hot War, which I'm following with great interest. Pugs in Mugs is a really lovely little card game that's in the prize pool as well. That's a game I got to play for the first time at UK Games Expo and have since purchased a copy and brought it home and played with my friends. Very cute, very simple card game with very appealing art. Would play great with people who aren't experienced card gamers. It would play great with children. I think that's going to go down a treat with whoever wins that. And also Apothecaria, as Josh mentioned, is also going to be in the set, which is a game I've enjoyed playing with my wife, a lovely little solo journaling game about inheriting a witch's cottage and brewing potions for the benefit of the local community. It's a solo game, but perversely, I get a lot of fun playing solo games with other people, like me and someone else, and maybe some of our friends come round in order to all play solo together. It's very parallel play, and that can be very, very charming.
That's such a nice idea. I'd never have thought to do that. That's really lovely.
It's really nice. And then especially if you're playing something where you get a letter from a mysterious stranger, which is the kind of event that can happen at random when you're playing Apothecaria, you can just give each other your journals and then someone else takes over for a bit. It's the idea that solo play is inherently lonely play. I think anyone who spent any time engaging with the communities that exist for these games and how they egg on and support each other will know that's definitely not true. And I can't wait for whoever wins that game to discover that for themselves. As far as games that I haven't played, I also want to give a shout out to Rosewood Abbey, which is an RPG that's in the bundle. It's a lovely kind of medieval murder mystery sort of vibes. I think it actually paired really well with Brother Y. And there's a similar kind of like irreverent look at medieval religion and the kind of side of that. Rosewood Abbey is an investigative game built on the Brindlewood Bay system. If people are familiar with that game, a cracking little mystery kind of play set that I think role players will really enjoy. And as for our experience of being at the con as an organization, or rather my experience being there as an individual, I was lucky in that I wasn't on the stall the entire time. So I did get a chance to explore the space outside the sales hall. Got to go into the wargaming tournament space and see folks playing the Star Wars war games and Crokinole tournaments, which I thought was great fun. Meeting up with friends that I don't get to see very often except at conventions like this, having a drink with them in the bar, taking games back to like hotel foyers and in the open board gaming space at the con. I always try and make times at games conventions to actually play myself. It can be hard to find time, but I think if you can't game at a games convention, when can you? And I got to play, as I say, Pugs in Mugs and some other games that folks picked up in the hall, like Sprawlopolis and a new game from the Oink Games folks. So yeah, a fantastic convention for Tin, a fantastic convention for me personally. Brilliant to be collaborating with the folks at Leith and Hive Mind. Brilliant to be collaborating with the other folks involved in StamQuest.
Anything else you would like to add before we start making people in chat extremely jealous of one of our 3 lucky winners tonight?
I think we've made the folks in the chat wait long enough. I think it's probably time to do our first prize draw.
Okay, Josh, would you like to take it away?
Yes, certainly. First of all, has someone got a random number generator ready?
You'd think that was something that we'd organise.
My computer will cry if I try.
Okay.
I'm just going to random.org now, unless we want to do it by dice, the traditional
Fantastic.
method. Yeah.
You do that, and I will run through runner-up number ones.
So how many?
Prize pool?
Yeah, go for it.
So, in addition to the aforementioned bits from Hive Mind Games, 3 Sales, Blackwell, Estesis Montford, and RRD, runner-up number 1 will also be taking Handiworks A4 full-size RPG A-State 2nd edition, the fantastic Hatchling Games in Spirals. By Odin's Beard RPGs have put in a copy of Runecare, the Warden Saga, which I brought a copy of myself when I went to collect that one for the prize draw.
How many prizes did you end up buying in collecting them?
Oh, I said I got across the board. Really did. We've got Greedy Gorgon Press's Stairway to Heaven, which is a collection of rock and metal themed 5e mobs. Craig Duffy put in a copy of their Project Cassandra and Hopes and Dreams of the Orbital Bound. W.H. Arthur from Tin as well put in May You Fish in Interesting Times. Fistful of Crits put in a copy of The Breathing. Got a copy of A Game Designer Review, also from Tin's W.H. Arthur. Alder Doodle put in a temporary tattoo pack. Leith Illustration, our very own Leith, put in an A5 night print and an A6 TTRPG design little notebook for your sessions. Dwin Art has got a fantastic Bloodborne print in there. That's A4. And Modular Worlds put in a copy of their Lucille the Tattooist miniature. And that's just the runner-up.
Yeah, it's going to be a big list once we get to the grand finalist winner. We've got a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah, I'm going to have to take a deep breath before that one.
We'll call a quick bio break so you can get a drink.
Right, well, I've got random.org open in front of me. Got it ready to go. I don't have the numbers of the winners in front of me, so I certainly can't be accused of fixing it in anyone's favour, because I don't even know what these numbers correspond to. Josh, are you ready for me to press the button and give you a number?
Yeah, absolutely. I will scroll to that row on the spreadsheet of entrants.
All right, here we go. Drum roll, please. I have number 8.
Number 8.
Number 8.
Number 8 is Nicholas G, whose surname I won't say because I assume that's against GDPR.
Yeah, just
Nicholas G. You're runner-up number 1. We will be notifying you via email, and we'll get that posted to you. I will get that posted to you in the next few days.
Hooray! There's such an amazing set in there. A lot of them sound like their teen games as well, contributed by Craig Duffy and W.H. Arthur. Project Cassandra, May You Fish in Interesting Times, both great games. Inspirals as well. It's a wonderful little game from the Hatchlings crew. That's an amazing win.
I absolutely adore my copy of Inspirals.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fantastic RPG.
It's
So yeah, congratulations, Nicholas G.
Well, after that emotion, I was about to say let's bring it down, but like I don't Harry, I don't want you to bring it down. Keep pumping things up. How did UKG go for you and as a trader?
Yeah, I had a really lovely UKGE. Much like Michael, it was my second UKGE. Had no idea what to expect from it going in last year. It was my first big con. Up until that, I've only ever done sort of like small craft market type things and stuff. And being a queer artist who very much wears that openly in my artwork and stuff, I had no idea how it was going to go down at a gaming convention. I should really have known from the context of like all of my lovely gamer friends and stuff that it was going to be the most queer friendly, the most neurodivergent, and the most just welcoming place. And so yeah, having had no idea what to expect last year and then being thoroughly surprised, I wasn't disappointed again this year. It was such a good time. Really lovely to see a lot of familiar faces, lots of people who came up to me who remembered me from the previous year. And yeah, kind of with being on a bigger stand and stuff, everyone was like, "Oh my God, you've come so far in a year." Um, so yeah, it was really nice palling up with UK Tin and with Hive Mind Games. Getting to hang out with you guys on the stand was really, really good fun. Being next to Mikhail, who I feel deserves a special mention, because we did not ask him to do this. But many of you who handed your leaflets in person will remember that you unlocked an unskippable cutscene that was Mikhail suddenly donning this like thick wool cloak out of nowhere and holding a leaflet up in the air to say, "It was foretold," and going on about this. That
Yeah,
you
I'm
have
just going to
completed
specifically
StamQuest.
say that no one asked Mikhail to do this, and
No,
he turned up with the robe anyway.
he did. Food was prepared
That's
and he did it
it's
every time.
a very
And
Mikhail move. Yeah. Commitment to the bit.
I
Hey, I
think
nailed it.
a lot of people who came up kind of looked at me like, "Are you sick of hearing this?" But honestly, I genuinely never got sick of it. It was so, I think I was just so impressed by his level of energy throughout all of it. And just seeing the looks on people's faces of like complete surprise when he came out with this was just joyous. Like, I feel like that was my favorite part of UKGE. And yeah, looking through the prize pool, it was really interesting, Michael, hearing you talk about it because I think I I'm it sounds sinful. I'm not a big like TTRPG player myself. I'm too busy doing the artwork behind stuff and sleeping, I guess. Um, but yeah, kind of getting to spend time with the UK Tin crew was really nice being able to look through some of their solo RPGs and stuff and thinking about things that I would play myself. And actually um, I didn't go to UKG with an idea of anything that I would like to get for myself. But the one thing that I did look at that I was really interested in seeing in person so happened to end up also being donated into the prize pool was MacGuffin and Company's Upriver Downriver, which just I'm a magpie when it comes to any gorgeous hardbacks, and it has the prettiest like painting on the front of it. And the game setup sounds just really interesting. You're on a journey on a river to either the source or the open sea, and the locations that you encounter are triggered by drawing cards from the major arcana in a deck of tarot cards, which just that really appeals to me on so many levels. I unfortunately I only had like 2 minutes to quickly look through the thing myself at MacGuffin's stand before then realizing that I did in fact need to go and open my stand for UKG. But yeah, I was that one really stood out to me. And of course, give some pals a plug. At Dwin Art, it was their first time doing UKGE. I very much kind of encouraged them to come as we're both Norwich based, and they've donated 3 gorgeous A3 prints. Lots of Bloodborne stuff, which I'm not familiar with myself, awfully, probably only just through watching watching them play stuff over their shoulder. But their artwork is so ethereal and ghostly and captivating that, like, even though I don't know the context of stuff, it's still beautiful, and I would hands down have it on my wall. I do have stuff on my wall from Twin, but yeah.
As a
Awesome
Dark
that
Souls and Bloodborne fan, I can absolutely say they are fantastic.
they really are. Yeah, and they had some wonderful interactions based off of those. So it's nice to see that they're in the prize pool. And yeah, I feel like that's a good segue into finding out what the next runner-up will be winning.
Fantastic. Okay. Right. Deep breath for this one again. So this is in addition to, again, the Hive Mind bundle, the 3 sales, Mappa Mundi, digital pre-order, Blackwell's Apothecaria, Ecstasis, Wretched Tales, Montford Random Art Pack, Realmrick and Deckard, Eat the Reich patch, and Fidget Coin. So for runner-up number 2, we have got Soul Muppets Inevitable RPG in hardback, glorious A4 hardback on that one.
That's a huge book.
It is massive. Colossal put in a copy of their eponymous solo RPG. Again, beautifully resplendent A4 hardback, that one. MacGuffin and Co. put in Upriver Downriver, speaking of the devil. That, again, beautiful book. We've got Mousehole Press's The Slow Knife, Fumble Folks, The Ritual Spellbook. Greedy Gorgon Press put in Highway to Hell, which is a different one of their series of metal and rock inspired mobs. We've got MacGuffin & Co. again with No Picnics in the Dungeon, which is one of their zine, one of their smaller RPGs, still, just as beautifully decorated and interesting as everything else they do. Craig Duffy of 10 has put in Signal to Noise, the Kandara Contraband, and Rock Hoppers. Fistful of Crits put in a copy of Afterglow. They're, again, beautifully decorated, super interesting RPG. Older Doodle put in a pack of Temp Tattoos. Leith Illustration has done a A5 Haunted House print for this one, and an A6 RPG notebook. From Dwin Art, speaking of their Dark Souls prints, they've got their Artorias A4 print in this one. And Modern Worlds, for the second runner-up, have got another miniature of their Lucille the Tattooist.
Nice.
Whew.
And breathe.
You got through it.
that was one breath.
Well, to give you time to recover before we go into choosing the winner, the Slow Knife was one I actually didn't see myself, but that my wife was talking to me. Looked like it was going to be a fantastic game as well, based on revenge seekers. I think, and the ways that is kind of like the search that they're undergoing, and the ways that people are like eroded by that. I think you could generate some pyrotechnic stories with the Slow Knife that I think someone will really enjoy. All right.
Very curious. Okay.
Yeah. Are we ready for me to give you another random number? Hopefully one not in the single figures again. Unless you're one of the people who is in the single figures, in which case maybe you want that result. Okay, here we go. We have number 312 as our second winner.
312 is a long way down the sheet. It is Cynthia O.
Hey! Congratulations, Cynthia.
Congratulations to Cynthia O.
Man, what an insane haul of goods.
Yeah.
It's insane. And the Champion of Champion has got, of course, an even bigger pile of goods. But damn, Cynthia O, I am insanely jealous.
Yeah, you'll be getting an email letting you know. So even if you're not in the chat right now, Cynthia, you'll be finding out about that very soon. And yeah, getting the game sent to your address in the near future. Good luck making your way through all those games.
That's going to be a really big package to get in the post.
Yeah, that's not going to go through the letterbox.
Yeah, you'll know what it is when it arrives, because it's going to be large.
I really didn't think the prize pool would be quite this big when I volunteered to sort the logistics on it. But what a fantastic problem to have.
Yeah,
the
for sure.
first Stamp Quest.
Yeah.
I would also like to say at this point, Josh, so you can have a break, get your breath back from reading that incredible list of prizes, but you're the only one we haven't heard from. How did UKGE go for Hive Mind Games?
You know what they say, breath is for the weak. So yeah, I absolutely fantastic. Obviously the three of us teamed up on the big stall this year. I got to get handy, get my DIY on, and build that ridiculous tavern-y frame. Harry sewed the banners for it. Michael did a bunch of the designing and idea making with us. Had a lot of fun with it. And it went really well. My favorite part of the con is always the people. You might have guessed, but I can basically talk forever and enjoy doing so. So just getting to talk to strangers on the stall all day is actually a good time. I had a really, really good, just loads and loads of really nice interactions. Some of them really silly, some of them wholesome. It was really, really awesome in that regard. And then once that's over, going and hanging out with all the other creators is always just absolutely lovely. I think especially we're all dotted across the country. Many of us work from home or remote. Many of us are solo endeavors. We don't really have co-workers as it were, but getting to get in a room with, such an incredibly talented bunch of people as well, is really, really something. Definitely the highlight there.
I think you're right on the money as well, Josh. The one of the things that's so remarkable about UK Games Expo is people come ready to be excited about the games that you're selling. People want to hear you talk about what you have on offer. And obviously some of what's in the hall are like big games that they've heard about before they arrive and they're really excited to get their hands on it. But people come in with an open mind. They come in excited to see something that they've never seen before. Conventions like UK Games Expo are great for creators for the reasons you said. It's a rare opportunity to see each other, to feel like they're part of something bigger than themselves. But I think that goes just as well for like the attendees, because for some people, this is the only chance they get to buy games, or certainly buy games from the kind of creators that they can't necessarily count on having stock in their local game store. It's just a really lovely, convivial social atmosphere, exactly like you said.
Yeah, it really is. And getting to talk shop and just everyone's kind of in the same boat. Even people who are more established in the scene. The folks at Rowan, Rook and Deck Art are lovely and supportive. I think all of them were doing the rounds. The folks at Soul Muppet as well kept doing the rounds. Even, we even saw some people from Paizo who were just checking out smaller stalls and stuff. And just chatting to creators. It's a surprisingly far way up. It is a really, really community-driven, passion-driven indie industry.
Indie industry, have you got a highlight from the prize pool?
Yeah, definitely. There is a copy of the Odd Job Special Edition in the for the winner that I brought a copy of. It's the second copy of that I've brought because I lost the first one. I lent it out and it never came back. Now I don't remember who's got it. So I went and rebrought the special edition with the slipcase. It's absolutely beautiful. I love the settings in that. We've got one of Art of Arkland's engraved pint drinking horns as well. That thing is just absolutely beautiful. I wish I could have sprung for one myself.
I bought one of their t-shirts. I forgot. I'm wearing their Gondor t-shirt.
Nice.
I meant to give them a shout out when it was my turn, but I forgot.
I guess let's draw the champion of champions.
Oh my gosh. Are you ready for the roll of honor that accompanies all the stuff that the winner is going to be winning?
I am going a little bit lightheaded from lack of oxygen, but I'm going to power through.
Deep breath first.
Basically, a free hire.
Yeah.
You like talking.
I do love talking. So, again, in addition to the Hive Mind bundle, the 3 sales copy of the physical Mappa Mundi, Blackwell Games Apothecaria, Ecstasis Wretches Tales, Montford Random Print Pack, and the Rowan Rick and Deckard Eat the Reich patch pack and fidget coin, we have got a wonderful duo of books from Parable Games. The hardback full version of Shiver plus the Curse Library, both of which are A4 and massive. And they've also got a set of the Shiver dice in there as well. There is that Art of Arkling engraved 1 pint drinking horn that I mentioned a short while ago. Lost Haven put in a copy of their Abaddon RPG. That is a card-driven RPG and is another full A4 big old hardback RPG. MacGuffin and Co. have got a trio of their goodies in this. The Odd Job Special Edition with that beautiful slipcase. From Hell's Heart, I Stab at Thee and Zero Void, which are 2 of their smaller RPGs. Again, beautifully decorated, always interesting. Handiwork Games put in Mask Witches of Forgotten Doggerland. Mousehole Press has got a beautiful copy of their Corico and Magical Year. Josh Fox of Black Armada and the UK Indie Lead put in a copy of their Last Fleet. That's a Powered by the Apocalypse sci-fi RPG. Another hardback, big old copy there. Hatchling Games, fantastic Dragon Dowser and the card pack are in this as well. Nobody judge me, I had to take a breath. Greedy Gorgon Press have got Song for the Dead. The final in their Monsters of Rock zines and Metal and Rock mobs. Handiwork Games put in Cold City Hot War. UK Tins, W.H. Arthur, put in their Conviction. Craig Duffy has included the Dustbringers and Number Stations. Craig Duffy of Tin. Beyond Cataclysm were kind enough to donate a copy of Kasplat. Alderdoodle have got one of their beautifully illuminated Fireball scrolls. A4 genuine handwritten calligraphy. Dwin Art has got a beautiful Dark Souls bonfire print. Leith has put in a copy of their Little Book of Weapons, which is a book of many silly items. The Halbard. The Halbard is probably my favorite out of that. And we've got a Soul Muppet bullet dice roller, which is it's a rollable bullet that has numbers on it and acts as a dice, which is insane and ties into their new RPG. Miguel Malkin of Tin has included a Fishborn Archipelago A5 sticker sheet. And that is us done.
All right, are we ready for me to use the random number generator to get us our final winner? Here we go.
Yeah. If you can get somewhere like the 150 mark, just split the difference between the 2 extremes you've had so far.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure there's a big group of people in the middle who are hoping it's going to end up there. Let's see. Here we go.
The good news is...
Okay, it is middling. The winner is 148.
48?
Yeah.
That is James W.
Congratulations,
James W.
Hooray!
James W, which is nice and vague, so everyone knows.
Yeah.
Hey, congratulations, James W. That is an insane pile of loot.
Yeah.
Literally
We're so very sorry
pounds.
if there's more than one James W.
Yeah.
We're just...
Can we search for that? Can we search if there's multiple James W's? Keep an eye on your emails, James, is what I'll say.
If your name is James W, we may have good news for you, or you may have just lost out on a lot of cool stuff.
You may
Good
have
news.
a harrowing
There is
disappointment
one
ahead of
James
you.
W who handed in a completed Stamp Quest leaflet.
Hooray!
So if you are that James W. Congratulations.
Congratulations, James. Yep, that's a very, very big file, which will be making its way over to you in the not so distant future.
I think they're big enough that they will need a courier. It's Laying them out on my 10-person dining table. It was 2 full tables loads, as I posted over on Twitter. Congratulations to all 3 winners. That's an insane pile of loot.
And thank you so much to everyone who has like donated, given that this is the first year that we've done Stamp Quest. Everyone just kind of took it on faith and trust that we knew what we were doing. And I could not imagine that it was going to be as big as it has been or as popular. So yeah, a massive thank you to all of the attendees who participated and the vendors who donated and had leaflets on their stand and everything. Like, you've made it what it was. And yeah, just seeing this massive haul of prizes now really kind of brings that home. When I first suggested it, I was thinking we would have maybe like 10 stands take part and a handful of prizes. But yeah, thank you to Hive Mind Games and to Michael with UK Tin for having a bigger vision than me, I think. And yeah, and then for everyone who took a punt on it.
Definitely thank you to everyone who took part. Harry, like you mentioned, it was just pure faith. We wrote a really well constructed email to a bunch of folks after chatting to them, and everyone really put their weight behind it. And of course, Harry, thank you to you for the incredible Stamp Quest art. You just absolutely refused to settle for anything less than beautifully illustrated throughout. Despite me pushing for you to not phone it in, but just use, it hasn't all got to be hand drawn from scratch, Harry. You smashed it anyway.
Like, don't worry about it. It doesn't need that much time spending on it. Like, no, but I need to.
Hey, you were absolutely right. It was worth it.
I just want to echo what both of you have said. Yes, it was absolutely, as Harry said, a group effort from all the 28 folks that we got involved, including ourselves, including Tid's partner in crimes at Leith and Hive Mind Games. But even if it grew into something bigger than you expected, Harry, Josh is also absolutely right. The original vision and the original design, the thing that brought it to life came from you as well. So thank you, both of you, for everything that you did to make StampQuest what it was.
And from my perspective, I saw it brought on quite late in the game, just for video content more than anything. The 3 of you, just the passion that you had in the behind-the-scenes conversations was inspiring and incredible to be a part of. So thank you.
Thank you, Rad.
Thank you.
And I mean, the last and biggest thank you, I guess, is to everyone who took part. Could not have happened if you guys weren't game to give it a try. I think especially because so many people at GE do not know who the 3 of us are as indie creators in an indie network. And just kind of got directed to a leaflet like, hey, have you seen this? And loads of people ran with it.
Some people just went so hard with it as well. Like, someone came back and said, I did an ADHD hyperfocus. I did this in an hour.
Oh my God.
Like,
that's too quick.
I'm thinking of the 2 lads who finished it first. They collected a form at about 9:10 on Friday morning. They were some of the very first people to grab a Stamp Quest leaflet and had handed it back in by 10.
Yeah,
it took them 50 minutes. I saw them running more than once. And when I told they handed it back in, I was like, oh, I mean, there's no prize for completing it first. Sorry, lads, but congrats.
Yeah, it should
and
be.
They were just like, yeah, but we were first. Cool. They just did it for the glory.
Good for them.
That's glorious. And people had made maps specially and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't see until halfway through that someone actually illustrated a map with placement and everything of everyone taking part, and that was beautifully done. Other people had printed out this like A2 monstrosity, which they were then like writing on about all the different stands that they'd been to and stuff, and was using that to navigate with Stamp Quest. Like, yeah, everyone really took it on board in such extra ways. That it was just fantastic to see.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say I'll just take the moment to shout out Daniel of Copper Compendium specifically, who did the beautiful like classic RPG dungeon style stamp
Yeah.
quest maps of all of the stores. I'll post their itch in chat in just 1 second. No one asked them to do it. They just did it because they thought it'd be fun. Unfortunately, they were showing it off the day after the leaflets went to print.
Such a shame.
But it was absolutely fantastic. The product's fantastic. Just drop the link there in chat. Oh, Eleanor beat me to it. Fantastic. But yeah, definitely check them out. They just did it for the hell of it, for the fun of it and the passion.
That's kind of why we all did it, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, if that isn't what gets us through as indie creators, I suppose.
Oh, well, we've done it.
Stamp Quest 24 is over.
Mic drop.
Just end the stream now. No. Hypothetically, should there be more Stamp Quest, where could people find that information from you, Harry?
Well, you can check out my socials. I'm at Leith Illustration on Instagram, and I'm also one of those strange people who's on Tumblr, also at Leith Illustration. And you can check out my website, leithillustration.com. Yep, I'll be putting any updates about Stamp Quest, mostly on socials. So yeah, you can check me out there.
Same question, but for Josh, now they've had a chance to breathe.
Thank you. Yeah, so you can find us on Twitter, because I just cannot tear myself away from that car crash as it goes down. That is at Hive Mind Creates, and my personal's on there as well if you want to see me just chatting wham. We are also at Hive Mind Publishing on Instagram, and our website, hivemindgames.co.uk. And just because I did miss the conversation point in the intro, Stamp Quest will absolutely be back next year. Meant to say that right up the top and completely forgot. But we will definitely be back next year.
It's classic marketing. End on that high point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And hey, Tin, guys, hypothetically speaking, whilst we're talking hypotheticals, where might folks find you?
Absolutely. You can sign up to our mailing list at uktin.substack.com, or if you search for the UK Tabletop Industry Network, you'll certainly find us. The about page of that Substack link will also then link to the rest of our socials. We're on Twitter, on Facebook. We have a really vibrant Discord community. We always love to hear from folks who are interested in the games that we have on sale at conventions and want to find out when more games are coming. But also, if you're a creator, if you're someone who is involved in Stamp Quest as a creator, or would like to be in the future, or wants to be where those conversations are happening, the Tin Discord, the Tin socials, that's the place to be. We hope you'll join us there. Maybe join our Patreon if you believe in what it is that Tin is doing, and otherwise be part of our community. Get to our socials and try and become a part of this movement that we're trying to create.
And also here, follow the Twitch channel if you're not already. I'm hoping to do more with it as Michael's successor and upload everything to YouTube afterwards. So,
sounds great.
Any closing thoughts from anyone?
Thanks again for all taking part, and we keep a lookout for Stamp Quest 25.
Fantastic. Thank you all so much for tuning in for this prize draw. That's the word. That's what I was looking for. Prize draw on UKGE Retrospective. We'll see you all next time. Goodbye and good night.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Night. That was so classy.
Stream is over.